In October 2025, my IELTS self-study phase began, and eventually I got 7.5 overall band score with no skill being under 7.0. I believe one of the contributors to that achievement is that I felt no pressure at all on the real test day. And so if you feel like you are going to freeze, be nervous, anxious, or any types of negative emotions, in this video, I'm going to talk about what I did in order to remain calm throughout that important event so that you can have some more ideas in your pocket to tackle that specific problem. Let me introduce myself. My name is Do. I graduated with a high distinction bachelor degree in English linguistics, which was also an honors program. I am helping people whose aim is 7.5 overall, the same as my result, or below, for free via my one-on-one online lessons and YouTube videos just like this one. Let's get started. The very first point is that I simulated the real test day experience very frequently. To be specific, I took practice tests under the exam condition, meaning within a quiet environment with the earplugs. I did all of those tests on my laptop. No phone, not on the paper, shits like that. On the laptop in front of me right now. Like as if I was doing the test at the center with a computer. And I used websites which offer, I would say 90 or 95% similar interface. And of course the timer, etc. That is the first one related to this point. And another thing is I went through a full skill. So for example, there are 4 parts in listening, right? So I will just all of them. 3 parts in reading, all of them. 2 tasks in writing, all of them. And the same for speaking skill. I did all of those work, which seems a lot, and it does, so that I can know what to expect, meaning confidence. So to me, confidence means I would know something, I would know about the thing that will happen afterwards. Okay, I'm pretty sure this thing can happen in the end. So that is confidence. I would just do so much work that it becomes predictable and boring. Actually, I didn't get to the point that I would get bored, because I was always stimulated to see how much improvement I got after each session. But at least I could predict how many scores that I would get for each skill and overall. And by doing that, I got from directionless, because I came back to the IELTS test after a quite long period of time, to familiar with the formats, the structures that I would employ within each skill, the operation of the computer, like how I would use the mouse, how I would use the keyboard and the shortcuts, etc. It is the same as we go into the gym, bro. You know, maybe you do squat, right? You are so used to that exercise because you have been doing that shit for a certain period of time, and you understand that if you do not brace your core in a correct manner, you will feel your lower back more than your legs, and then eventually you will get injured, shit like that, right? That's how you become so confident in that exercise, because you know what will happen if you don't do this, and if you do this, you will feel your legs burning like hell. That is the same, bro. So the next point is to go through a lot of situations which were more stressful before the real test day. So one of the biggest challenges that I got throughout my entire life, I would say, is the graduation performance. To graduate from the National Academy of Music in my country in piano jazz major. And it was nerve-wracking. I'm using a fancy word here, so if you do not know this one yet, jot it down. Okay, nerve-wracking means it is fucking terrifying, basically. And till this day, I'm still scared of that piece of shit. It was so scary that I even made mistakes in the very first piece of music performed throughout the whole performance. But eventually I made it. So I just went through that terrifying experience. So this fucking IELTS test, in which I don't have to perform in front of tons of audience, including those who expect from me to do as best as possible, etc. I don't have to do that shit, so I can relax here, bro. This is nothing. This is a piece of cake compared to that shit, and many other stuff that I went through beforehand as well. Like I'll tell you later on, with the parts afterwards. Okay. Next one is to set appropriate expectations. So I agreed with people who are involved in this fucking situation in advance, like my parents who paid for the examination fee for me. I agreed with them in advance about the outcome and what they should or shouldn't do to me. So in terms of the outcome, yeah, sure, they expected me to get at least 8.0, which is my expectation as well, but I didn't get it. But yeah, before the test, around 1-2 months, so on, stuff like that, I just told them that, oh, if I do not get this, don't be sad, because I'm not really qualified for this enough. I'm just doing this on my own. I haven't tried my best yet, including hiring some specialized tutors to help me with this. I haven't done anything like that. I'm just doing on my own. So maybe in the future I will, learn this lesson and do different stuff in order to get different results, which would be obviously better. Okay. And of course, they shouldn't, yell at me or criticize me during my self-study journey. Of course, on the real test day as well, just do not touch me. I'm so sensitive. This is my period right now. And also just be chill with me, okay? I'm doing all the housework as well. I'm still doing as if it was the normal day in my daily life. Another thing related to this point is to set the expectations based on the average result that I got at the time. So it was average, 8.0. Mentioning it here again just makes me really sad, but it doesn't fucking matter. It happened in the past. I just cannot do anything to change that, but to change the future. So this is a lesson for me. But yeah, I expected me to get, of course, 8.0, but eventually it was 7.5. It's nothing, in life there are things that are much more difficult than this. So really appreciate the experience and the things that people involved have done for me. I will do my best to get a better result, a better outcome. But yeah, just set appropriate expectations, or else you won't get so upset about that. So for example, you are at 5.0 level and you want to get 7.0 in just 3 or 4 months learning by yourself. It's not gonna fucking happen. I'm telling you, bro. So be real. Alright, the fourth thing that I was doing is to remain the routine as if it was gonna be the test day on the following day or even on that specific day. I just remained the daily habits that I got at that time. And the most important thing is to make sure my sleep and nutrition on point. So I went to sleep early because we gotta wake up really early on the following day in order to take the test, in order to get to the test place, the test destination, whatever you want to call it, right? So we have to have enough of sleep the day before, and also go to bed early, and then wake up early in the morning in order to prepare well, to be well prepared, to be exact, and also eat well, or else you will get your stomach will get upset during the fucking test. You don't want that shit to happen, right? So make sure at least those two factors on point. And luckily, I have been on my fitness journey, so I totally understand about those stuff. I don't have to have any help from other people. And also, I still accomplished the must-do tasks, like do the laundry, hang up the clothes for the whole family, did the dishes, anything else. Yeah, I just worked like normal. And I mean work at the music center and teach and taught English as well, the same, right? So that on that real test day, I would just feel like, oh, this is another fucking normal day. I have been doing mock and practice tests all time, so this is fucking normal. There's just one more addition, which is many other people around me, and that's it. It doesn't freaking matter. Next one is to immerse myself in English environment. You might have heard about this quite often, and I believe it is true, because the environment can put so much impact on how we behave, or basically on the kind of person we will become. So to me, I have been consuming a lot of English content till this day, including videos, vlogs, blogs, writing, stuff like that in English, nothing in my mother tongue, which is Vietnamese, because in my opinion, stuff in Vietnamese is not as high quality as others in English. You can understand this shit, right? So all the content, I just try to understand them and implement all the things mentioned in those pieces of content. Also, I was teaching English, and I'm still doing that shit. Teaching English, okay? And another thing related to the content stuff is that I used to make content in English as well. So my communication and delivery skills, I would say, have improved tremendously throughout that specific experience. So yeah, a blessing for me as well. Really appreciate that younger self of me, that motherfucker did all the work so that I can be the kind of person I am right now. I'm so pleased with that. And one more thing is related to thinking. Maybe I am autistic, I don't know, but sometimes I would just think and talk to myself, bro. And of course, they were all in English, either in English or in French. French is actually the language, the foreign language that I was forced to learn during the university time. So yeah, it's been a habit for me to do that shit. So yeah, really nice. It was hard, but it's nice to have that high habit. Okay, next one, which is so important, is that I have been doing a lot of shit in various fields so that I can have a lot of stories to tell. As an illustration, when it comes to the business aspect, I can talk about the free weight gain coaching that I provided for males, the free private piano lessons that I provided for my peers at the time. I can talk about that. In terms of physical health, I participated in combat sports like Muay Thai or kickboxing. And currently I have been doing weightlifting, calisthenics. There are some achievements in those fields that I can confidently talk about. I just love that shit. Regarding mental health, I used to do meditation. I used to read books. There are at least 10 books right here I can talk about. You know, when I get asked about social media, I can talk about the time that I deactivated all my social media accounts apart from YouTube, because I was doing content, making content on YouTube. And again, content creation. When it comes to jobs, I have been working as a piano and English teacher at the same time. I used to sell sneakers online with and for other people, and I even got some job offers, but I denied. If the examiner asked me about the worst news that I have ever got in my entire life, I can say that some people or the doctors said that I might have cancer. Yeah, that is the thing that I was trying to tell you earlier. Yeah, not really nice to hear that, right? But it is what it is. But luckily, I do not get that shit. Really grateful for this life and this opportunity to be here and provide as much value as possible for the people who just want to become like me. And in terms of relationship, I can talk about how I got rid of almost all friends except for one. And maybe to me, he sometimes can be my friend, but sometimes he cannot be. So those are all the realms. I'm getting fancy with the words here. Realm, REALM. Again, jot it down if you haven't known about it yet. I can talk about anything. That's it, because I have been through a lot of shits. So be confident about myself, because at that time I can be myself and I don't have to lie. And I even get excited to talk about all of those special occasions that I have been through in my life, to share my experiences that no one can have, not help. Okay. The following point I want to talk about is that I realized it would be not the end of the world if I wouldn't achieve my desired band score in IELTS. I won't die. You won't die as well. Just play out the worst case scenario, right? For me, if I do not get 8.0 at least, okay, I wouldn't die. And maybe the worst case scenario is that my parents will kick me out of the fucking house and I will be homeless, right? But I can stay at my friend's house. I can be on the street playing the piano, or just go to somewhere to teach English or piano and ask them. I can stay there if I can stay there. And I think most of the time I will get a yes. So that is the worst case scenario, and guess what, bro? Eventually we will all die. So it doesn't fucking matter. Just do your best, bro. That's it. Be simple with the life. And if other people can overcome this shit, I can too. People will feel the same as I am right now, which is anxiety, being nervous or some shit like that. But they overcome that, including females, younger individuals, and even children. They could do it. I can do it. Why I mentioned those 3 categories, I would say, because as a young man who is striving to be as good as possible, who is responsible for his own life and his beloved one in the future, etc. To me, I would have to be the one that can protect and provide for females, for younger individuals and children. So I don't want them to be bigger than me, but they could overcome that struggle. So why can't I not do it? Right? Just have that kind of mindset. I don't know if you are a woman, you are a child watching this video, but if you are a fucking man or a young boy, you can do it. That's it. And the very last one is to admit with ourselves or with myself that I got those feelings. And to be real with you, bro, I got those feelings. I felt anxious. I felt nervous. I just wanted it to be over as soon as possible. But because I'm a human being, so I cannot control my emotions, my feelings. And despite all of the above, as I said, I was still feeling anxious, mostly due to the need for this to be over. I'm just repeating myself right here because the script tells me to do that shit, but just do it. Put some emphasis on this shit. And if I do resist this fucking feeling, I believe that if I had resisted this, it could have caused more harm than good to me, because then I wouldn't be myself. I wouldn't be confident, okay? and that can affect my cohesion ability within the test, etc. And it can be equivalent to getting my mental health fucked up, basically, because I would be thinking of a lot of stuff during the fucking test. And guess what? Can I do well in the test? Oh, absolutely not. So I would just go with the fucking flow, knowing that, okay, I'm feeling this shit, I recognize this, okay, and then I would just calm the fuck down in order to find the solutions for this, and then I would just apply those solutions into the real life, into the real case scenario that I'm facing right now. Just think about this. Would you rather lose some time during the real test in order to relax a little bit and eventually manage to figure ways out of this shitty situation, or you want to panic? Which won't help you with anything at all in the test? Which one would you choose? The first one, right? So relax, calm down. We have to tell ourselves to calm down. No one can do it, only you, bro. No one is gonna be there to tell you, oh, you gotta wake up at this time, you gotta go to bed early, you gotta study like this, like that. There's only you, bro, especially when you are a man or a young boy, as I said before. Okay? So those are all the things. You know, I'm being alone right now. No one is telling me, oh, you gotta record this video. Oh, you should relax because you are tired, which is the thing that my brain is talking to me, but eventually I made it. I'm done until the end of this video. I'm quite exhausted right now because from the next week onwards, I will be in hell, to be honest, but it is what it is. Gotta do the work, man. Job is not finished. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I'm just jumping a little bit, but those are all the main points that I want to make when it comes to calming myself the fuck down on the real IELTS test day. So hopefully you have got something valuable for yourself, and just take action. Okay, do not just listen or watch this kind of video and leave it there. Take action. At least do one. All right, that's it, bro. Goodbye.